Hello everyone, and welcome back to English 5 Days. If you are learning English and looking for a fun way to improve your listening and speaking skills, you are in the right place. The idea is simple. You listen and try to repeat what they say as quickly and accurately as possible. In this video, I will speak slowly and clearly, and you will see the full text on the screen. This will help you follow along and understand everything. If you want to practice speaking, here's what you can do. First, listen carefully without speaking. Then, listen again and repeat after me. Try to copy my pronunciation and rhythm. Pause the video after each sentence and repeat what I say. Practice multiple times until you feel comfortable. If you follow this technique regularly, you will notice a big improvement in your English speaking skills. What is today's story about? Today, I have a special story for you about a girl named Elena. She is learning English and is super excited about her trip to the United States. Everything seems perfect until she makes a mistake while shopping for clothes. What did she say wrong, and why did the salesperson and her friend start laughing? Stay with me and let's find out together. Are you ready? Let's go. I feel excited. This is my first time shopping in the United States. This is also my chance to practice English. I feel ready. I know how to ask for help, how to talk about sizes, and how to pay. Sarah says, "Let's go to the mall. I will buy you a gift." A gift? A real gift? This is amazing. I say, "Really? Are you sure?" She laughs and replies, "Yes, Elena, let's go. You need some new clothes." So, we arrive at the mall, which is big, very big, with so many stores. Sarah walks quickly and says, "Let's go here." We enter a clothing store and there are shirts, dresses, and jeans everywhere. Sarah looks around and says, "Pick anything you like." I can choose anything. Wow, this feels like a dream. I look at the clothes. So many choices. Red, blue, black, long, short, and more. What should I pick? A salesperson walks toward us and says, "Hello, welcome. Can I help you?" This is it, my first real conversation in English in a store. I smile and say, "Yes, I need a new dress." The salesperson nods and asks, "Great. What color do you like?" "Good question, easy answer." I say, "I like red." The salesperson points and says, "We have many red dresses." "What size do you wear?" Oh, I know this answer too. "Medium," I say quickly. Sarah looks happy and I feel proud. Everything is perfect, my English is perfect, and this shopping trip is perfect. The salesperson brings a red dress and says, "Here you go." I look at it. It's beautiful, but I need to make sure it fits, so I say, "Can I taste this on?" The salesperson stops, and Sarah looks at me confused. Why? What happened? Something is wrong, but I don't understand. Suddenly they start laughing. Sarah first, then the salesperson. I look at Sarah and ask, "What? What happened?" She tries to stop laughing and says, "Elena, you said, can I taste this on?" Taste? Taste? I didn't say that, did I? Sarah nods and says, "Yes, you did." I feel my face turn hot. Oh no. I mean, can I try this on? The salesperson laughs and says, "I don't think it's very tasty." I cover my face. It's so embarrassing. Sarah can't stop laughing and asks, "Elena, do you want to eat the dress?" No. No exclamation mark. I shake my head quickly. I don't want to eat it. The salesperson smiles and says, "Don't worry, You can try it on. I take the dress, but this feels like a disaster. My first real conversation in English, and I ask to eat the clothes. Sarah laughs again and says, Elena, this is the best shopping trip ever. I groan and say, no, this is the worst. She shakes her head and says, no, this is perfect. I look at her. Perfect? How? She smiles and says, because now you will never forget this. I sigh. Maybe she is right, but still, this is so embarrassing. I take the dress and walk to the fitting room, determined not to make this mistake again. When I come out, the dress fits perfectly. Sarah claps and says, wow, it looks great. The salesperson nods. Yes, good choice. I feel better now. Maybe this shopping trip isn't a disaster after all. I take the dress to the counter to pay, ready to finish this and forget my mistake. The salesperson smiles and asks, will you pay with cash or card? It's an easy question, and I answer, card, please. I give my card, and the salesperson takes it, types something, and then looks at me. Oh, before I finish, are you sure you don't want to taste another dress? I cover my face and quickly say, no, not again. I don't eat clothes. The salesperson laughs and Sarah joins in. I take my bag, ready to leave. Let's go home, I say. But I wonder, this is never going away, is it? Sarah smiles and replies, never. We leave the store, but maybe this isn't so bad. At least now I will never forget how to say, can I try this on? Mistakes happen, and sometimes they're really funny. Eleanor wanted to say, can I try this on? But instead said, can I taste this? That small mistake made everyone laugh, but now she will never forget the right way to say it. This is the best way to learn English, by trying, making mistakes, and laughing. Mistakes are not bad, they help us remember. So don't be afraid to speak English, and don't be afraid to make mistakes. Every mistake is a step toward learning. Have you ever made a funny mistake in English? Share it in the comments and let's learn together. Now, let's look at some useful phrases and vocabulary from Elena's story. These are words and expressions you can use when shopping or speaking English in daily life. One useful phrase for shopping is pick anything you like. For example, Sarah told Elena, pick anything you like at the store. Repeat after me. Pick anything you like. Another useful phrase is, can I try this on? For example, Elena found a beautiful dress and asked, can I try this on? Repeat after me. Can I try this on? A funny mistake Elena made was asking, can I taste this? Instead of, can I try this on? Repeat after me. Can I taste this? Finally, good choice is another useful phrase. For example, the salesperson smiled and said, good choice. When Elena picked the red dress, the salesperson smiled and said, good choice. Sarah laughed and said, this is never going away, after Elena's funny mistake. Elena's experience at the store introduced her to some useful shopping vocabulary. The salesperson helped Elena find the red dress, and she took it to the fitting room to try it on. Before deciding to buy the dress, she checked the price tag to make sure it was within her budget. Sarah was excited because her favorite shoes were on sale, which made the shopping trip even more enjoyable. At the checkout, Elena gave her card to the cashier to pay for the dress, and the cashier gave her a receipt after she completed her purchase. Additionally, Elena learned some useful phrases for polite conversations in stores, like, excuse me, do you have this in a different size? This phrase came in handy when Eleanor wanted to find a different size, and it's a great example of how polite conversation can make shopping easier and more enjoyable. Do you have this in a different size? Repeat after me. Excuse me, do you have this in a different size? How much does this cost? Example. Eleanor pointed at a dress and asked the salesperson, "How much does this cost?" Repeat after me. How much does this cost? I'll pay with cash. Card. Example. Elena smiled and said, "I'll pay with card at the cashier." Repeat after me. I'll pay with cash. I'll pay with card. Now let's practice together. Repeat after me. Pick anything you like. Can I try this on? Good choice. Fitting room. How much does this cost? I'll pay with cash. I'll pay with card. Great job. These phrases are very useful when shopping. Try using them the next time you go to a store. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. I hope you enjoyed Elena's story and learned something new. Remember, you can watch this video as many times as you want to practice your shadowing. Repeating the story will help you improve your pronunciation, rhythm, and confidence in English. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. And don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss the next lesson. Before we go, remember this. Making mistakes is part of learning. Every time you speak, even if you make an error, you are improving. Keep practicing, stay curious, and enjoy the journey. See you in the next video.